Hi, I'm Brandon Grant, Sales Marketing Director here at QuoteWerks. In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to set up the Shareworks integration in QuoteWerks. Before we begin, there's a couple of important notes. First, Shareworks is compatible with all three editions of QuoteWerks. However, you need to be on the corporate edition of Shareworks in order to integrate it with your QuoteWerks installation. Second, you will also need to make sure you're on QuoteWerks version 5.5 build 5.13 or higher in order to use the Shareworks integration. Okay, so let's get started with the setup. The Shareworks integration is primarily a two-part setup. We'll have our initial setup in Shareworks itself, and then we'll need to also set up QuoteWerks to integrate with Shareworks. Let's first start by setting up our Shareworks account. In your web browser, open up a new page and type in shareworks.com into the URL, and that should bring you to the Shareworks homepage. You'll see at the middle of the homepage, you'll see a sign up, and you have the option to select from a standard, professional, or corporate edition. You'll want to select the corporate edition in order to integrate QuoteWerks with Shareworks. If you are not interested in integrating, then you can select the professional or standard editions, but for most of you, you're going to want to integrate it with QuoteWerks, so you'll want to select the corporate edition of Shareworks. If you're interested in the differences in the editions, you can simply scroll down on the home page and you'll see the pricing, which will have a breakdown of the different features available in each of the editions. So let's scroll back to the top. Simply put in your name, your email address, a password, and then confirm your password, and check the checkbox saying you agree to the Shareworks terms and conditions, and then click sign up. Since I already have my account, I'm just going to go ahead and click login. When you log into Shareworks for the first time, you'll see you have a welcome screen. This will just let you know that your account is ready to use. Now there's a couple options we want to go through before we move forward with using Shareworks. So go ahead and click on the options button right here, and this will open up your user settings. First thing we want to do is click on the options. You'll see you have two settings available. The first one is if you want to receive invite post by email. So when you're invited to post in a topic, you can receive that invitation via email, or you can just simply log into Shareworks and see what you've missed or what has been shared with you. I'm going to go ahead and leave mine checked because I'd like to receive the notifications by email. Receive post notifications by email, that just means that you'll, in addition to receiving the notification in Shareworks, Shareworks can also send you a notification via email that someone has posted in a topic that you are working on. So for our example, we're going to go ahead and leave both of these checked and then click save. The library is where you can store documents for anyone in your account to use for any topics or posts. These can be added to, renamed, removed, or simply viewed. This just allows you a central storage location for commonly used documents for your Shareworks account. Change password, pretty self-explanatory. This is where you can change your Shareworks password. Permissions granted to others. This is where you can view any other users that you've set up in your Shareworks account, what types of permissions they have, such as whether they can create projects, whether they can create new posts, whether they can share posts, and so on. This will show you a list of which users have what permissions set in the Shareworks account. Show update instructions. Since Shareworks is a web app, updates are pushed automatically through the browser. However, sometimes for those changes to take effect, if you have remained logged in, you may need to refresh your browser. So this just provides some simple instructions for doing that. The billing option here will show you if you're on the trial version or if you're on a paid account. It'll show you your current billing subscription. In addition, if you are on the trial or paid, you'll be able to see which plan you are currently on here. And then finally, account team members. Account team members are a list of other users you have set up for your Shareworks account. This is essentially where you're managing those users for this account. This is where you can invite other users to join. You can edit an existing user, you can change a user's passwords, and you can remove a user from account. This will also display specific rights. So this is where all the management of your Shareworks users will take place. Users in Shareworks do not have to have a QuoteWerks license. They could simply be only using Shareworks instead of QuoteWerks. Very useful if you have techs or people out in the field, or just anyone in your organization who won't need access to QuoteWerks but may need to collaborate on specific QuoteWerks documents. They can do so through Shareworks here. Once you've set up all your users in Shareworks, you can simply click on the Shareworks home screen here to bring you back to the Shareworks home. Now that our account in Shareworks is set up, we need to integrate QuoteWerks with it. And this is going to be very simple to do. So we're going to go into QuoteWerks, click on Tools, Options, click on your Shareworks tab. So on the Shareworks tab, the first step is to check the checkbox to enable the Shareworks integration. Once you've done that, you want to enter in your account credentials. So the same email and password that you set for your Shareworks account, you want to enter them here into QuoteWerks. Once those have been entered, click on the test button to ensure you've put in the correct credentials. So we can see ours are showing success, so we'll click OK. And the next step is the admin setup. So let's go ahead and click on that. This is going to show you a list of your users that you have in QuoteWerks, and you can choose which ones you'd like to invite to be part of your Shareworks account. Simply check the checkbox next to the username, and then when you click OK, that will send out an email to them inviting them to Shareworks. And then you'll receive a confirmation that those users have been invited to this Shareworks account. Additionally, if you have just created your Shareworks account, you'll want to have a project in Shareworks titled QuoteWerks Documents. QuoteWerks will automatically check to see if this project exists. If it does not, it will prompt you and ask you if you want to create it. You'll want to go ahead and click yes. Now, if we go ahead and click OK to save our settings, there's one more step for the rest of your users in QuoteWerks. Your QuoteWerks users will want to click on Tools, My Preferences, and then click on the Shareworks tab and enter in their Shareworks email address and password. You want to make sure that they enter in the same one that they have validated their Shareworks account with. They'll need to click on the invitation email that they received first, set up their Shareworks account, and then once they've done that, add their username and password here. Very important, you can see here we actually have this message in bold. Your users will want to make sure that they sign up with Shareworks using the invitation that you sent. Otherwise, they'll end up creating their own account, which will not be associated with this QuoteWerks installation. So once you send out the invite to them, have them accept the invite, set up their Shareworks login information, and then take that login information, add it here to QuoteWerks, test, and then click OK. And that's it. You're now ready to start using Shareworks. For more information on setting up the Shareworks integration, review the QuoteWerks help file, or feel free to give us a call or send us an email. Thanks for watching.